Hi everyone, this is Gladys Grace again and welcome. Just wanted to say thank you to anyone that took the time and watched my recent post and commented on my video. I appreciate your thoughts and your support. Okay, so I hope everyone is doing well. And so I wanted to come back on to share my thoughts on a subject matter that I truly and honestly believe is something that has been overlooked for a long time. And I want you guys to stay here with me and lock in, because hopefully it would more than pique your curiosity and make a lot of sense. A few months ago, I started to just process this thought in my head for some time. And I'm pretty sure that in your everyday walk and in your lifetime of living here in the United States, it's really one of those things that you question and somehow you forget about it, right? But have you ever took the time and wonder, where are the missing children? Think about it. Where are the missing children? If currently I am in the state of Virginia, and I believe during the time that I lived in Florida, because I'm fairly new here, and I stay in a small city, and my local Walmart has a display of missing children. I have a young teenager, she's 14, and it's really one of those things that, in my opinion, and I guess in everyone, and you know, just if you have children, that is any parent's worst nightmare, is to have their loved one missing, and to know that there is typically a small window of when you watch like shows like the first 48 hours, and that's a really small window before there's any kind of investigation to find out what happened. And so you have to question, what happened to those cases? Do they become cold? Do they why isn't there any kind of effort in every single state, in every police department? Why is there any effort to find where these missing children are? So when you go to the issue that, they do not want to disclose because the so-called man in charge might probably be the one on the top of the list, then we wonder about trafficking, we wonder about so many things. And then when we think about the e-files, that's what I'm gonna call it, and our politicians or leaders that might be involved in that, as to they're doing everything, they're doing absolutely everything to distract us from those things being revealed. I'm not going to go deep into this, but if you do have an opportunity, you can research it, and hopefully it's easy for you to find, because I know that as time goes by, a lot of things gets pulled. We can't find them. They're deleting them. And it's called Project Genesis. There's a content creator that I follow for years, and if I have the opportunity and if I can find that particular video, I will link it here for you guys. And it's Dre OG Reacts, I believe that's his channel. There was a post maybe about a month or so ago. He does compilations and he puts them together, and then, you know, he shares with the collectives, right? He doesn't do any talk over, he just lets everything play. He makes his little commentary in between. But if you have an opportunity, again, you can research Project Genesis. When I stumbled on that video that someone shared with him and he placed within this compilation, I literally had goosebumps all over my body, because the time that I watched it was almost aligned with what I was just going on in my head. No research, no looking, no nothing, just me processing. Because I keep thinking over and over and over and over, where are the missing? Where are the missing? Where are they? There's no reports of, oh, we found so-and-so. Oh, the body was fine. Missing 10 years ago, missing 13 years ago. Think about the amount of missing children collectively in the United States. You would think that this would be on priority. You would think that this would be priority on the news. You would think that there would be day in and day out, that any police department in any state would do everything and every effort to bring those children back home to their parents. You see their pictures plastered in Walmart. I guess back in the day, they used to put them in behind the milk carton. I don't even know if that even still exists anymore. But we see them. This can be, these kids can fall along the line of being our nieces, our cousins, our nephews, whatever. And I would take the time, and I would take the time every time I go to Walmart, and if I pass that wall, which is usually near, at least at my local Walmart, is usually near the customer service area, and I would take the time, I would read each name and see where they're from. And it breaks my heart. And I'm saying, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? I'm gonna try not to get emotional. And when I started to process, and then I watched that clip thereafter that talked about Project Genesis, it then takes me back. And I don't really want to get biblical, and I don't want to get religious, because that's not me. I am spiritual, but I'm not. That used to be my past. But hear me out. But in the context of it, what if Revelation is not the end, but it's the beginning? What if Revelation is the beginning of a new Genesis? Hear me out. What if Revelation is the beginning of the new Genesis? So when I put together Project Genesis and what is tied to that, it's very, very, very eerie. What if the missing children are not missing? What if they are in some underground facility? What if they are on some secret island somewhere, being incubated, being mind controlled, being implanted. Have you ever wondered, have you ever had a situation before where you pass, like, say if you're just going to the food store or you're just up and about and you pass, someone passes you by and they have this essence of someone that seems so familiar to you. Think about it. It may almost seem like a deja vu, but it's not a deja vu. It'll be like, then you stop that person and be like, and you call them by the name of the person that they remind. Oh my God, you remind me. Have you ever wondered? Have you ever wondered, what if this person got harvested? What if this person was given the heart of the someone that you knew? What if someone was given the eyes of the person that is missing that you knew? What if someone was given something that was harvested from someone that went missing? And there's something so eerie about, what if that was, and what if it turns out that it is that person? And that person be like, no, that ain't me. No, you got me mixed up with someone else. What if it's not a mixed up? What if it's someone that was missing 10 years ago, 5 years ago? You may have an idea of what they may look like 10 years later, or 5 years later, or 20 years later. But one thing is for certain, if it is your family member, you will know. That has to be. Think about it. What if at some point in time, they do release them, they do come back, but they do not come back as you remember them, because guess what? They gave them a new mind. They gave them a new identity. You will see them and you would know that they're them, but they don't know that they're them anymore. What if they are being harvested? What if the children that they were missing and went at a certain age, what if they are being incubated to produce more? Because guess what? If they are eliminating a certain set of people and the birth rate is going down, think about it. What if those missing is being harvested, and that when the time is right, think about the numbers. Think about the numbers. Think about how many years has passed. Think about how many secret islands that there might be around the world, or even here in the United States, that might be underground. We do not know. And when the time is right, they release them. What if they release them so they can find us? They control them and say, yeah, go back to whatever your address is and go back to this. And you're thinking that they're coming back to you as you remember them. But what if they come back to you as an agenda, genesis, to eliminate you? What if they now become the agent for them? Your own family come back, not as they are, but they come back programmed, and they will now be the ones that's going to be unleashed upon you. You never thought about that? Like, Think about it. For me personally, I do not feel that it can be too far-fetched for one to wonder, where are the children? To know that all of these cases has gone cold? Impossible. Impossible. I do not believe. I believe the missing people and the missing children, I believe they are somewhere remotely, and by the powers that be, they're doing what they're doing, so that way when they are ready to unleash their agenda, the genesis will happen. And that if you are religious, you can go ahead and read the book of Revelation. Because most people are thinking, oh, it's the rapture, or we are living in the times of Revelation. No, what if the end is the beginning, and the beginning was actually the end? What if we have it all in reverse? Think about it. They operate in numerology. If they're the one that give us the book, the so-called Bible, from its original translation, which they have, and if you have a chance, it was called the whole Holy Bible in the 1600. That was translated from a language called the Massachusetts language. And it is so deeply linked, and it did indicate that it was used to program and give people this new language, this new way of the way they dress, the way they talk, and the way that they were put out in society. I don't remember the first name of the person or the that made the translation, but I know the last name is Eliot. He himself said that it was extremely complicated to translate the language, which then produced the first translation of the whole Holy Bible. And all of the names that is linked, which some language has been extinct, are all tied in to indigenous tribe. Like I said, it's a lot for me to put in this one video. When I stumble upon that and I found the original, I believe it's called, oh my goodness, it's the library, pardon me. If I can, I will put the link. It's the library, the digital library of online, something to that notion that you can find it. It has all the books that never made it into, and because the text was written in a Gothic type font, it was very, 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 very complicated to understand the names of the books. It was like the book of this, and I didn't get a chance to count to see if there was in fact 88 books, because people said that no, in the past people was like, oh, the total number of books in the original Bible was 88, but as far as I can see, it seems like it was more than 88. And so I say that to say, if it's not so far-fetched as to why the files are not being released, and you think, okay, what happened on the island? Where are the missing children? You think about Neuralink, Musk, all of this. Would you not think, okay, well, who's going to get this? If not us by force, would it not be the ones that has gone missing for so many years? Which case has gone cold? Parents think that their loved ones are forever gone. What if some of them are actually amongst us and we don't know? What if somehow we might have passed the essence of, oh, she would kind of remind me of this person's daughter that went missing. Like, I don't know, she kind of looks like her. What if it's your family member? What if you're a parent and that's your child? A mother knows their child. I do not care. A mother knows and will recognize because it is the instinct that they would know. I'm trying not to get emotional. They would know that if their child was missing 10, 20 years ago, and that if they wipe their memory and they put them out in society and that mother passes that child and be like, you remind me of someone, and be like, what's your name? Oh, never mind. And what if somehow, some way, it was discovered that it was? What if you missed the opportunity to know for sure that was your loved one? Because it cannot be too far-fetched that we turn a blind ear and we turn a blind eye to what goes on. And we're not in an uproar as to where are these babies are, where are these little boys are, where are these little girls are, where are these teenagers are, where are these missing people? Whether they were black marketed, whether they're being harvested, whether they might be amongst us and their memories or the essence of them has been erased. Where are they? And again, what if Project Genesis is actually the revelation of a new beginning, of a new system that will unleash upon us I leave you with the thought. Please comment below and share. I did this impromptu, unrehearsed, of course. Like I said, this is something that I have plagued in my mind of wanting to do for some time. And I just wanted to share. And I'll say to any of you that do have a voice, that do have a thought, don't think about it as a conspiracy, because that's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that everything is a conspiracy or everything is far-fetched. It's impossible. It can't be. Because if you begin to make your voice heard and get people in as to opening up their mind, opening up their consciousness, because like I stated in my other video, a lot of people are walking around with their eyes wide shut. Some people are afraid. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to wake up to the reality of what's happening and what's going on. But you see, until it actually hits home, maybe they'll wake up. Until it hits home, it hits your loved one, or it hits someone close to you. maybe they'll wake up. Maybe it might hit your city. Maybe you'll wake up. Oh, they'll never come here. Oh, that'll never happen. Oh, we have a strong army. We have a strong this. No, this country wouldn't dare do this, or this country wouldn't dare do that. And so I'm working on some other stuff, and I will definitely I'm going to try to post a little bit more as it comes to me, and researching a little bit more on certain things. But again, if I don't immediately, when I upload this video, in terms of the links connected to what I have shared here with you guys, you guys can definitely come back to the video and just double check, and I would put the links to the video and any information or links that I can find in terms of the Project Genesis that sort of ties into this. I will also find additional links to that matter. I don't know when, I don't know which year, and I don't know which episode, but I did my research as to an episode that was on Star Trek that literally, it was chilling, that literally ties in again to this soul project, like verbatim. Just to hear that this particular show and episode was recorded so long ago. And they say it all the time. They have to tell us, they have to let us know. If I'm able to find the post of the link of the Star Trek episode that also ties into this and what I'm sharing, I will go ahead and do so. And so I thank you guys for watching. I may go ahead and post this in full. You guys can just skip through whichever part is boring to you guys. You guys can go ahead and skip through. But if you did, stay along and listen to this entirely, I truly thank you. And again, I will see you guys in the next post. And my name is Gladys Grace, and take care. Bye.